Okay, guys, good morning. So let's continue with our tailwind class. The first topic we're gonna look at is size, right? Size utilities. Okay. What I mean, the utilities. What is utilities, right? Basically, you see the color utilities, size utilities. Basically, the name, right? Uh, the name or class name which is predefined. Okay. When you say w dash something, that is the class name, and that class name has some css built behind, right? Which tailwind compiler will take care. Okay, this css, whatever class we are using, right, in the end it will compile to the real css code. Okay, that code is basically used inside our project. So so let's look at the size, right, quickly. Let's go to the document. We'll just continue with the same project, with our same project folder, right, we working on yesterday. If I go to the page here, I'm gonna delete all, right, all this, and then no import. Okay, let's put maybe h1, right, hide h1 10. Yeah, so the size will be what you can apply width, right, w. Okay, can I do like w dash? No, right, that is a class name. So look at from 0, 0 0.5, 1, 1.5 to 3xl, 3xs, 4, 4xl, 5. Look at that. So 10, right? Let's make it that. And height, can I give a height also? Normally we don't use height when you have a responsive design, right? Because h1, I mean for the h1, right, if you give a height of 4, let's add a border also. Okay, border dash maybe 2, right? And then you have to give a border color, correct? Border amber 300. So that is a border color. So when you hover here, you can see the class name, see how these things are applied. Border 2, right? Look at here, border 2. So the border style is this variable, right? Look at here, variable, whatever the size of that 2, and the border width is 2 pixel. So there is, when I write border 2, normally border has what? Border width, border style, right? Two things, and then the color also, right? So the color we have to apply separate because it's not included here. The width and style is given, right? But the color you have to choose on your own, right? So let's go live. So you can see now, right? You can see small, very small, uh, I think the width and height. What is that width, right? Width 10 is how much? Like 40 pixel. That's very small, right? Oh my God. So what we can do is we can say, let's say width. Is there something big uh, you can find? Let's see. Let's make it maybe uh, screen, not screen, but MD, right? Let's make it MD. Well, how much is the MD now, right? See that much, that size the MD, okay? And height you don't have, okay? You have very small height also, right? So you can maybe make it, also give it MD, but see, look like there is no MD in the height, right? So if you don't know what exactly to apply, okay, remember that even there is a height like fit, height full, right? So if I give height full, what gonna happen? That's the 100% height, right? Normally this h1 is what? H1 is inside the body, right? And the body height is not 100% yet. So whatever the size of the body, that body size will be, the height will be for this h1 also, because normally every element has no size. Okay, sorry, no height. There is no height, right? When we add content, then it will start growing, right? Expanding. That's how it works. I mean, what I'm saying is we have learned in our design pattern before, right? Every element is what? Like a nothing, okay? Nothing like this. Even no border, right? Unless you give a border size. Then you add h1 there, small h1. Then whatever the height of the h1, right? Because we say height is 100%. Something in 100% is what? If the body is this much, then the height will be whatever the height of the body. When you make a height of your child 100%, then it will stick within the body size, okay? Within the size of the parent. That's it. But anyway, if you want height, you can use it, like give whatever size here. You can find it, or you want to have a fixed some your custom height square bracket, and then let's make it 400, right? 400 pixel. So if you want custom height, then you just or custom width, just use square bracket. You can do it. You are allowed to do that. Okay. Let's make it 600 pixel, right? You can do that. See? And you want to put in the center, then the margin, right? MX, X and Y will be auto, right? And that box will move to the center. So now what happened, right? When you apply you fix height, fix width, that will push the body, okay? That will push. Fixed means it will push it. But when you go to the percent, right, it will stick, it will follow the parent side, okay? Okay, so that's the height width. You can choose whatever you want. There is mean height, max height, right? So if I remove this mean width, right? I think mean width, maybe how much? Let's make it something like a 96. How much is that 96? It's around 348, right? So see, minimum width is 96. What is that? Mean width is 96, right? So when you shrink, it can go up to 396, right? But after that, it will not shrink, okay? Minimum width is 396. It can shrink up to 396, and after that, it will not shrink. That height will stay that much, right? So 396, see, it will stuck there, right? 396, it will stay. But now, if you grow 396 above, it can grow, right? But minimum size will be 396. That is the mean width. And max is similar to, just opposite of that is max, right? So if I put max with 96, then that is 384. My box will be maximum of 384. That's it. It can go below 386, but cannot grow more than 386. That is max. So just confusing, but you have to remember that maximum means cannot grow more than that size, right? Okay, what I was saying earlier, right? Like when you learning tailwind, the best thing is like open sizing, right? Like look at here, sizing. There is width, mean width, max width. Read the document. Okay. I want today to learn about the mean width. Utilities for setting the minimum width of an element. Minimum width, right? So this is mean width and the number. Look at here. That is the formula, right? Mean width with number. And the mean width 3 is 3xs. So that is like 256 pixel. 2xs, that is 288 pixel, right? XS, that is 320. S small is 384. MD, LG, XL. You can go more, right? Just even look at here, okay? Basic example, right? See, examples. So that's how you practice. 3 by 4 with full will be how much, So all those you just read and try to apply, right? That will give you some sense of understanding. Okay, I mean the custom using a custom value, right? Look at here. So the value will be custom, right? Depends on what property you are using. Next value you can apply even custom your own value. Okay, in all property, right? After your style or class name, there is a value can be custom. Okay, and you put custom value by putting square bracket like this. So mean, max, height, just look at that, right? Then typography. Oh, I want to study about the font, right? Font family, font size, font smoothing. Okay, font style. So how I can apply font family? Can I check, I mean, how it looks like, right? Let's see. So there is some built in already. Okay, classes name, right? Like font sans, font serif, font mono, right? Then font dash, font family name or custom property, right? Font value, whatever you can put there. So font sans will be like this, font serif is this, font mono is this, right? Okay, already something is built inside, you can use it. If there is some custom value, you can just put font dash and then the bracket, you pass the value, right? Okay, so also if you want the font dash and bracket font family name, you have to import, right? If there is something, you can just use. So let's go back here. That adds the var, right? Okay, this is just a shorthand for the font family, the square bracket, right? And in the var, and then custom property name. Okay, so either you can use this or in the long way, right? Variance documentation. Learn more about using variance. In variance is basically, like a, let's look at here, right? Like hover, focus, and other states, right? Hover, when you hovering the mouse on the top of the any CSS property, right? Here, look at here. If I hover, okay, so how that working, right? See, this button has a class because this is maybe just normal HTML, right? You can use tailwind for normal also. You just have to set up the node projects, install the tailwind, right? Or set up the tailwind from CDN, or maybe you install the packages and then use it, right? So this is the background, BG Sky 500. And there is more, right? Like you have the radius in the right, like a rounded, maybe whatever rounded. There may be some padding, right? On this button. The thing is hover, okay? BG Sky 700. See, hover is the property. When you hover here, the color is changing to this one. From BG Sky 500, little darker, right? 700. It's just making some hover effect, okay? There is focus effect also, right? So in the sometimes you have a, what you call that, the form, right? And in that form you might want to add some focus, like when you click something, it will have the like border, right, around. Okay, but anyway, let's continue with our, I will just show you, I mean, I'm just telling you how you can look at the uh, properties here, right? The document of the tailwind, and then practice on that. Yeah, so let's go to the next topic, which is the flex one. Okay, flex and grid, right? Is that flex? Yeah, typography is same thing. We looked at, started already, right? Text size, text. You can apply font, So the flexbox, for flexbox, what we need, right? I'm gonna copy this. Let's say we have one div, okay? We have one div, right? You're gonna need a parent box for the in order to create a flex, correct? So I'm gonna add the parent here. So we're gonna apply class name. I'm gonna add one more. Let's do one thing, okay? In this flex box, right? I have two children, that is div. Each children has heading 1 and paragraph. Simple enough, right? And add a p tag also. So the concept is same. You need a parent, then the child, right? Depends your design. So h1, and let's make it 6, not too much big. I'm gonna delete something here. Then you need a paragraph also. So I have two div, right? This one and this one. So now the first one is my parent box, okay? So now you can start applying flex. When you do flex, right, what is the CSS style for this flex class? See that? Normally we used to do like class name and curly bracket display flex, right? So it already applied display flex, okay? If we check now this page, right, it will be, let's go live here. So you can see now, right? So there is h1, which still has some style. I'm gonna take this out for now. Or let's do one thing. I'm gonna just add maybe color, right? Color will be orange. I apply color for the text. Text orange 600. Okay, and same thing you can put for next h1 also, right? And save this. So you can see now, right? So this, the flex box, first I can give a padding. I'm just going not padding, but let's add margin of 4 so it's not touching to the border, right? Like let's keep some space all around. Okay, now when you have flex, what you can do, you can add a gap, right? Gap property. So how much gap? Maybe 5. So there is a space between the two children, right? The gap, right? Next is flex direction. Okay, so flex, what was that? Flex direction. So we can call it, okay, let's look for the center, right? Horizontal and vertical movement, correct? So item, see item, right? I'll just go to the center first. So this is align item, that is vertical, right? Align item will be vertical, y-axis movement, right? And what is the justify content? Justify content will be say, the, just take one example. I mean, there is like justify content, right? In a justify content, if you remember the property, right? Flex start, flex in, all those. So when I say justify content center, justify center, right? That is the name of the class. Okay, see, justify content is center. And when I say item center, right, that is align item center. So this one is x-axis, right, for now. So I hope you get the point, right? The, if you look at our document here, the same flex justifies between item center, right? You can apply, okay, let's go to the document now. The flex basis, what is the utilities for controlling the initial size of the flex items, right? Flex basis, basis full, see, basis full. The basis was the width of these children, okay, the width, right? Width. So simple example here, you have flex item and flex row, right? You can make it row and column also. So this is row, okay? By default, when you apply flex, that is by default it is row, right? Can we make it flex column? Column, right? It's call, okay? If I do that, it will go down. Look at here, down, right? Okay. If you remember that, flex row is by default. Okay. So if you go through this example, there is 1, 2, 3. Basis is the width of the box. Okay. So in the width you apply to the child, right? So this is my child here, the first child, and I can say basis how much? Maybe, can I make it? There is a lot of number, right? Look at here. So let's make it half, 1/4, right? I will 1/4, and then maybe other one I will give it more. Okay. BASIS, basis, BASIS. Let's make it half, right? And check now. So see, if I go now, right? So this took the big one, like half, right? And this one just took what? How much? 1/4. Okay. I mean, you can see a lot of space on the left and right, because half and 1/4, there is also like 50% missing, right? I mean, not 50%, but how much I can say, right? If you divide between half and half, okay, let's put half also here, right? Half and half. Now they are equal size, okay? So they occupy the complete screen, right? If you want to make it 1/4, both same, okay? Then 1/4, right? So both is like that. Just occupy the 1/4 of the screen. The second is 1/4. The remaining space will go, because we have made center, justify content center, right? Item center, okay? And justify content center also. But if you justify content, maybe start, you can put justify, uh, what was that? You can find here, right? End, uh, item center end, right? Should be item start, justify item start. So justify start, right? If I do that, it will start, okay? Like justify content flex start, right? That's in the beginning, okay? End will go to the end. A between, okay? There is something you always use, right? You guys like justify between. Then it will add space between, okay? So see that all the space is between the two children, right? So you have to understand, okay? I mean, look at the document and practice, right? That is all I can say. See, simple examples. Look at here. If you have some custom basis, same thing, okay? The name of the proper class, and then the value, right? In the uh, square bracket. So flex direction, flex wrap, if you just apply like a wrap, right? Flex wrap like that, you can do that. If you want to have flex grow and shrink, so you just make it flex 1. If you want to have same size for all, right? Let's look at the flex, not wrap, but grow, right? Yeah. So flex, just put grow, will be flex grow 1 or any number, right? So normally, what is the size? I mean, even there is a size also, right? Similar to basis, you can apply the size, okay? But grow 3, 7, and 3, right? Look at here. What that means. So the first box is grow 3, grow 7. Second one is bigger, right? And grow 3, okay? So you can use that. Normally, the flex grow will be also used the child. So here is the child, right? You can say, let's do it grow. Let's make this if you just put one, right, one and one, that is like same size. Okay, if you put both, flex grow one, right, that is grow. Then based on your screen, it can expand and shrink. Okay, see, it can expand and shrink, right? It will take the whole space, both taking same space. But I can make this 3. So now what happened, right? The first one is 3. Oh, sorry, the second one is 3 and the next one is 1, right? Then they will go in proportion. uh Cannot see the proportion here, right? Why not? Okay, let me check if there is sometimes if there is no number, right, then it will not work. Grow, what is the grow? I don't see any number here. Nope, cannot find. Okay, let's check. 3, 7 and 3, right? Okay, let's try, like, let's give it like maybe grow 7. Let's do that. And then here is grow maybe 3, right? So it will divide in equal size, right? And it will take 3 portion for the first children and 7 portion for the second one, right? That's how it should work. Okay, but still there is no effect, so I'm surprised by. See, the both are like taking the whole space, right? The reason should be, let's see, there is something. No, right? Okay, if something does not work, use grow 0 to prevent a flex item from growing, right? Okay, so that's grow 0. And whatever the size for the other one, right? 1 and 3. Grow even custom size you can apply. That's fine. I mean, normally the grow will be when you have many children, right? Like many child box. Sometimes you want to apply like equal size for each of them, right? In that case, normally you will see people using this grow, right? You can use also. So what they do is just grow 1. When you don't put 0, right? I mean, when you add 0, then it will not. It will be like a same size. Okay, it will not grow. It will not shrink, right? But if you make it 1, grow flex grow 1, that means it can expand, it can shrink also, right? uh Let me see if I can put here. I don't know why they're asking for size, right? It should not have, no need for size. So if you put a size, let's try size of how much, 14, right? And also give size here. And you can make it like let's make it 3 and make it 7, if that will make any difference. So 3 and 7, you can see now, right? Yeah. So the one is like very small. Oh, a size, SIZE, right? Spelling mistake. Okay. So now it now finally it took the effect, right? When you have a size, uh now the first one is taking 3 part, right? And the second one is taking like 7 part. Okay. So I think we have to use with the size, right? But if you make it, let's say 1, what gonna happen? Make it grow 1 and leave the first one 3, right? So that is the one person, and this one is the three person, right? So sometimes you need certain person, okay, uh, based on screen size, they will take that area 100% area, right? But on that area, proportionally they will divide. Like this is a three part. Sorry, this is a three part, and the other one is one part, right? And it will shrink no matter how much big is the screen, right? Always it will stay three part and it will stay one part. Okay. All right, guys. So that's the, I mean, lot. Okay. You know, normally you will be using like a flex. Sometimes you need to grow, flex wrap, uh, columns, right? Row and columns. Justify content, align items. Those are the things you're gonna use. Okay. So now the grid. Let's look at the grid, right? Also, normally how we apply grid. I'll just copy this simple example. Uh, let's take that out. So also in the grid, what we need is parent box, right? And then the children. Now this child, for now, if you look at the CSS, right, is different color: BG red 200, BG blue 200, BG green 200, right? And they have a same height of 12. Okay, these are the child. Now, if you look at the parent, how we apply grid, right? There is a grid. Start with the grid, so that is display grid, right? Okay, then how many columns we need now? Columns in grid, what you need? Grid columns, grid rows, right? That is the grid template columns, you know, and repeat three times. Min max value, like how big will be these children, right? You can define all those. Okay, the columns will be of size 3. 3 means that 3 column, and each of them is one fraction, right? So one fraction means it will occupy the whole screen size, equally distributed it into 3 different columns. So I can put, let's put 1, 2, 3 maybe. Yeah. Now check the screen, right? You see that 1, 2, 3. They all equally distribute into 3 column. Okay, one fraction each. So grid call 3, right? Just remember that. If you want to add 4 column, just add one more item here. Let's make it green, maybe purple, right? Let's make it 400 and make this 4 also. So if I do this, I have only 3 column predefined in the grid. Do you think it will create 4 column? No, right? So the fourth one automatically go down. Okay, but if I go back and I say no, I need 4 columns in one row, then it gonna give me 4 column of equal size. Equal, one fraction is a equal size. Okay, one fraction of the screen, right? So you define the templates for the column, and you have that already. Now you keep adding information in that boxes, right? All these children. Okay, same thing with the row, and there is a gap also, right? There is a gap of 4 for each column. So yeah, that's why we have space between the column, right? Normally, this is what you will do. You can look at the document here for the grid, grid template columns, grid columns, right? Sometimes you have to define the columns, grid rows, you have to define, right? So let's say I want to have different column size, then I will go here, and then I say, I can go back here, right? And I can say call span 2, because I define how many column, 3 or 4 column, right? I can tell my first column, take it two column. Okay, so let's do that. Call span two, right? So here my first column will be taking the two columns. So call span, and how many column you want? Two. That's it. So now two will be taken by the first child, a third column, fourth columns. That means one will drop down, right? That's gonna happen. So let's check now. See, so you can define the number of columns, and then you designate your child how many columns the child can take. So greet call, right? And the number greet, what was that? Call span. Okay, span, right? So guys, that's how you learn. You look at the design and try to practice, right? Even these code, try to practice. Grid and column is important. Okay, I mean rest will be like normal CSS, right? If you don't remember, just come back here, look at a box shadow. Let's add this one, right? Box shadow. So in my parent box, I'm gonna apply maybe shadow of Excel. Let's try that. So in the parent here, or maybe the first one right here, shadow of maybe 2XL. So now if you check here, you see that shadow there, like in the something in the bottom, right? So you can apply shadow also. Text shadow, same thing. Text shadow, whatever the size of the shadow, right? So now I have no text, but I will put some text here. 5. So let's apply text maybe 3XL. So you can see, right? Text shadow. Even you can apply the color for the shadow, text shadow, whatever. Okay, so let's do it this one. Now check here. I mean that's very small, right? There is a height, the fixed height for this, so you can remove that now. So let it, you cannot see the shadow, right? That's the thing, there is a background, and the shadow and the background is same color, right? So you cannot see too much unless you remove this PG. Okay, so can you see some shadow on the text? Let me see. I cannot see, right? Text shadow. Okay, I think we did not give the shadow, right? So we said text shadow first. Such a shadow. Let's make it to XS. Now finally, right? There is. You can increase, the shadow size. Shadow. Let's see. Why is the color only coming? Text shadow LG. Yeah. Finally, you can see, right? So there are the size, you just have to look at, right? And then apply. So that is all, guys. I mean transition property, right? Transition property, when you have a hover effect, you want to have a smooth transition, look at the transition, right? So just apply transition, all maybe transition, just transition. Then in the transition, these are the style it will apply, just for transition color, right? Or transition opacity, or transition shadow, right? But it depends, like, see, when I hover here, right? See the transition, then delay 150, duration 300, right? Ease in out. For what, right? For like hover, okay? Right? For this hovering, when you hover, right? You want to have some smooth transition from normal to hover effect, right? So that's why you apply this transition. The process of in converting from one state to another, that is called transition. You can add delay, you can add duration, all those things, right? In and in out, the style of the transitions, you can apply that. Okay, guys, so that is all. It's a lot to learn. You have to practice and slowly understand, right? Now, from tomorrow, what we can do is we're gonna continue with our next yes. Maybe we're gonna work on one project, right? Simple project, okay? Let me first let's build like simple component project. Because now you know the tailwind, right? You should be able to build simple project, okay? If I ask you guys now, right? Let's say go to your. If I actually build the your portfolio, right? Okay, you try your own if you know, right? But if I say, okay, chat GPT, can you give me basic simple portfolio page, right? uh so use what? Next.js, tailwind, css for style, okay? Style, right? This, so you can write about yourself, right? I am a full stack uh a full stack web developer, right? What else you know? Okay, I know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everything you have learned so far, right? Just put there, and then it will give you the whole, almost a whole code, right? And see if you can put all that together and run the code in your project, right? I mean, it will give you all the components you need, and then just look at that, right? See if you understand that code, you can write it yourself or not. Okay, good guys, so you can try that, because you have to start understanding and start writing code, right? That's the point here. But anyway, I will stop here. Tomorrow we're gonna work on the one simple project.